Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Arriving outside of civilization, Jack and Diane are anxious to make up for their missed time together, kissing and looking through the window when she sees Victor and Nikki inside. She decides that ruining Victor's day will make her day. Her husband proposes that they do just that. Victor and Nikki are seated at a table in death when Jack enters with Diane on his arm. Before Victor has had a chance to wipe his lips, the Abbotts rush over to begin the tormenting. Nikki wishes she wasn't seeing a reconciliation, but Jack affirms she is, and it's all Kyle's fault. They discuss how the mustache used Kyle to harm his parents, and Victor responds that if he intended to harm them, they wouldn't have seen it coming. He smirks as Diane accuses him of being a traitor. He believes she must be furious about the Glissade agreement, but she claims it was a hoax and that he sold all the assets, putting her in a state of destitution. I felt it was appropriate to present the empty shell of a business to the empty shell of a guy who claims that people ask him whether he set up their kid for failure. Victor asserts that his parents treated him like way and that he is far ahead of them. They argue over the Avant family's failure, which seems to be a hereditary feature. Jack says his kid will succeed now that he's not around. Victor implies that Jack crippled his kid by holding him down. Jack and Diane cross the room and grab a table. He tells his wife that Kyle will forgive them because they saved him from Victor. Diane is able to smile when they remember that just a week ago, they never would have thought they would be spending Thanksgiving with their son. Jack believes that this whole situation will be over by Christmas. The coziness of Jack and Diane makes Nikki shudder. She despises this, but Victor doesn't care. As Jack is stuck with that woman on her way out, Nikki stalks over to Jack and Diane for a moment to complain that she thought he'd come to his senses. After she leaves, Jack claims that Nikki doesn't like to be duped, and their performance did that. She worries that they might have lost their son in their battle to keep him away from Victor, but Jack reassures her that they won't. She gives him a cynical snort, and he receives a text and explains that when he heard that Victor was selling off Gad's assets, he bought it all up at pennies on the dollar, meaning that Glaya is whole again. She believes he's brilliant. As he ponders that CLA arrives, she tells him he doesn't need to pretend things are okay for her benefit. It seems like things are even more tense than yesterday. Kyle sits on a bench in the park and somberly recalls his fight with his parents over how they deceived him. He also remembers the offer of the co-CEO position that his mother made him to make amends. Promised to move aside and take her position at Jabo after dropping a bomb. Diane has said that this is to make apologies, but he is unsure whether this is a genuine act of repentance or just another ploy. Although Claire is unable to discuss his mother's intentions, she seems honest with her and seems to be very affected by all that has transpired. He's tired of thinking about this, so Kyle switches the top I see to her. She loved her vacation, and the family holiday activities were new to her. He says she deserves to be surrounded by love and family, and they kiss. Kyle still doesn't know if he can trust his parents. Esther is pleased to welcome Nikki and Victor to the Chancellor's offices, even if she is unsure of the company's name at this time. The new managers reassure her that it will always remain Chancellor when they enter Nikki's office. Victor is impressed by how much she has already accomplished on her own. His wife shows him the heartwarming gifts her children gave her, and then she holds up a picture of Catherine. He misses Catherine, but he is confident that Nikki will continue her legacy and make the business even more successful. She says she should have had faith he would get what he had his mind set on, laughing. Esther is certain that Mrs. C would approve and would love having Nikki in charge. They reassure her that she can keep her job. She takes a deep breath and declares, "It feels right and I'm ready to take on the world. The world better watch out," as Victor asks her to sit behind the desk so he can snap some pictures to email to her family to let them know that she is now the CEO of one of the top corporations. She smiles.